Hi, I'm Dave Barnes.
And I'm John McLaughlin.
And welcome to Dadville.
Dadville is a podcast where we talk about life, love, and the pursuit of awesome dadding.
It's funny thoughts and deep talks.
So please, enjoy your time here in Dadville and enjoy this episode with...
Dave and me. John. Johnny. Come on. Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny. Johnny.
Dave.
That was a drop.
Dave.
That was good. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I feel like that was pretty hot. That was a hot track.
Yeah, I cooled it off at the end there, but it was hot.
What's going on? Do you know what's hotter than that, though?
I do.
Tell me.
The weather outside.
Yeah. This is what we call a
It's frightful.
hot blow dryer summer in Nashville, Tennessee.
It's like walking into a blow dryer.
Well, can I tell you what happens now, though? There's
Please.
a fix.
That's
That's where Manscaped's new Boxers 2.0 come in, John. They spent 2 years. 2 years.
Why did it take 2 years?
Because that's how advanced they are, John.
That's right.
Designing
that was
the
a trick
most
question.
comfortable boxer briefs out there. I've had the honor of testing these bad boys out, and I can say it's the softest fabric of any.
You know what I've noticed?
Tell me.
I can run faster.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Because I'm so aerodynamic now.
You do. You walk quicker.
I do.
Yeah.
Right?
I've seen
They're
that.
so breathable
Yeah.
that it's like gills for your groin.
Oh, just-
I've said
yep.
that a million times in
have.
my life.
You
And
put
now-
that in a song.
Now it applies. They even trademarked a new jewel pouch, so you know it's serious.
Super duper serious. John, the micromodal fabric is, tell them what?
Micromodal.
It's what is it?
I tell you right now, it's buttery soft.
What would be the second
It's also
thing?
breathable.
Look,
That's how I would describe it.
It keeps the downstairs cool, y'all. Walk, run, strut. It doesn't matter. These moisture-wicking boxers breathe without breaking a sweat.
That's right, they do. Also, the tagless waistband hugs your body like a hug.
A hug.
Without digging in, and it lays flat against your skin to reduce chafing.
So what are you going to do? You're going to get 20% off and free shipping with the code DADVILLE at manscaped.com.
That's 20% off, people, plus free shipping with the code DADVILLE at manscaped.com. Once you try the Boxers 2.0, you'll never go back.
Everybody, listen. I may be selfishly excited about this episode.
I was just going to say, I'm really excited about this because this is new territory.
This is new territory.
This is the most spontaneous episode we've ever done.
Yeah, without a doubt. So if you've been listening and the 2.7 million people that are subscribed, just ticked up to 8 million that are subscribed.
It went from 2.7 to 8. Wow.
Listen, I'm rounding a lot, as you can tell, up and down, and physically. That's a whole other conversation. So if you've been listening, John has been doing this fun thing where you've been bringing on.
I want it to be fun, but I also want it to be instructive.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all.
So
I'm not painting us in a corner.
Yeah.
You've been bringing in sort of like thoughts.
Well, my heading on the month or on the Note app is monthly thoughts.
Monthly thoughts. Okay. And that's
I don't know why it's monthly, but I'm just thinking.
That's a deep dive.
I
that
try
we
to
don't have
think
time
monthly
for.
if I can.
So you've been bringing those in, and we'll just talk about them. Some of them are serious, some of them are light, some
just
of them
random
are just
thoughts that I
pontifications.
have.
Yeah. So I thought to sort of like bring a little substance, or at least sort of contribute to the scale that I'm bringing up to sort of try to even out the work you're doing. I have some of you may or may not know this, but I dabble in stand-up. I've spent some time on stage doing stand-up. I actually have a stand-up special. I don't want to plug that right now, but it is called It's Hard Being an Idiot.
Do it.
And so I have a note that is just kind of funny things to me. Like I'll be out and about and something will be funny. And I'll go, I got to write that down. Or I'll have a thought and I'll think. Now, these are the very beginnings. They are the smallest versions of what may turn into a stand-up bit or something at a show. That like between songs, I'm like, here's a little 2-minute funny, right?
Well, we do the same thing as songwriters. We have ideas, and we've talked about this on here. We're like, I have in the what is it called? Voice Memo app. I have hundreds.
Little
as you
melodies
do, little melodies, and I'm curious. Here's my first question.
Okay.
Because 99.9% of those ideas, they're like unrecognizable. Like 2 days later, when I'm like, what was that thing?
Yeah.
And I'll listen to it, and I'm like, why did I even take the time? To put this down.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
Well,
or are they mostly funny?
I learned early on that when you type in bulldog face, it's not going to help me because I'm going to go back to it and be like bulldog face, bulldog funny. I mean, they're squished. Is there what was
so
funny?
it's something like that. It'll just like I don't even know what this is.
It used to be until I had the wherewithal to be like, no, explain out what. And so now they're kind of little paragraphs because I'll be like, bulldog face doesn't make sense. Like dash, like it looks like they ran front into a cement wall and somehow they kept being bred to do that. I don't know what the humor is there, but that's that would be. And so what I'm doing. So today what we're gonna do is I have highlighted. This is a very vulnerable thing for me because this is like these may turn into bits, and you're like it was funnier when you talked about it the first time, and now it's not as funny. It could also be they never turn into anything. But this is a very vulnerable thing. I'm like, this is like me playing the verse of a song and going, do you guys like it? Well,
can I tell you that you're feeling vulnerable? I don't know if vulnerability is the word. I'm feeling pressure. Because
there's no, I mean, are you one of my funniest friends? Without a doubt. So now I'm adding pressure. But
only added pressure. That's very kind and untrue.
Hey.
I'm like, I'm the audience here. I need more.
If
you're gonna bomb, I don't want it to be all on me.
Okay, so let me correct the heading here. This is not about me doing a bit. This is pontifications. That's how I want to put it out there.
Okay.
And then we just laugh and talk about
we're like a think tank.
We're spitballing.
Yeah.
This exactly what this is.
Okay.
We're ideating.
We're a laugh tank.
We're just going, I'm going to say something, you say whatever comes to mind, and we're just going to have some of this could be, I say it and we both kind of giggle, and then it's like, let's move on. It could be that you're like, oh, that was it. And I'm like, okay, let's strike it, So again, these aren't necessarily funny. They're things that I thought were amusing in some way.
They could be something.
Yeah. Okay, so as you're listening to this, everybody, there's a lot of grace for the journey, okay? But I'm going to probably giggle a lot because if I wrote these down, I already think there's something of humor.
And just to be clear, just so you know, I always want to balance the room out. So if you're going to giggle a lot, I'm going to go serious.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, devil's advocate.
We could be talking about death very soon.
Right.
Okay? Okay, so let's just jump in here. Okay, so I'm just going to read these, and we're going to go with it. Is there anything more embarrassing than not being able to explain what you need at Home Depot as a man? Okay. How much less of a man could you be that you can't even explain what you're looking for? Okay. So this feels like a really soft entry.
Yeah. I like this already. Yeah.
Okay.
This is great. Because this is where my mind goes immediately. It's like when you go to a foreign country and you've got So a couple years ago, Amy and I went to France, and I'm trying to learn the language of French. So I would walk up to the guy at the train station. I'm going to buy a ticket. And I would have my first sentence ready to go.
Ready to roll.
And I'm like, I know he's probably going to say this, so I got number 2 on lockdown.
Yeah.
Right? Once we get past that point, then it's like, I don't know a single French word right now in this moment.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when you go to Home Depot is Home Depot. I would say if you go to the local hardware store, then it's
you've ratcheted. Yeah, it would be like at the airport in France versus the middle of Paris.
Right.
Like the airport's like most people here speak a lot of languages. Right. They know you're probably not
this
French.
Is a hub.
Boy, you get into 2 blocks from the Eiffel Tower trying to buy a baguette, you are in the danger zone.
So if I go over to the hardware store and I'm like, do you guys have a I can't even
the pause. The pause
you
is
guys
already
have the Johnson rod? And they're like, what's the
Did you really just
I think that's the thing. I think the Johnson rod's the thing.
I know it was a T-shirt when we were kids. Oh my gosh. Immediately they're going to giggle.
You guys have an eighth bit?
Yeah.
And then they ask the follow-up question. Is it the Phillips or the flat?
And you're like
Phillips, but it could be the flat.
It may be the Hernandez.
Our house faces south. Does that help?
Yeah. We have a house of wood. Is that helping you? I mean, I just
our
know
doorknob's metal.
So many. We have a driveway. Is any of this helping you? We have children. Is that going to help? This is. I just know. I've learned to have things in my pocket that are what I'm asking about because there have been times I get there and I'm like, hey man, it's like and already I'm just like, God, they're just so much disrespect for me right now. I'm feeling all this trauma in my body. And yeah, it's like it's like straight and it's got you hammer. So you'll have a hammer and they're like, you mean a nail, son? Yes, gosh, nails.
You guys have any nails?
And they're like, well, and then the word. This is the height of my shame. Is this next moment? Well, we have a lot of. Do you know what kind you need? Are you doing aluminum? Are you doing steel? Or what are you hammering into?
Oh, yeah, they asked the follow-up question that is just a basic. Is the wood treated?
You know what they need,
and you're like,
you know what they need to have it up. They need to have an escape door. And it'd be like a little 3-foot door that's stuck toward the middle of the store. And if you get into a conversation you can't get out of, guys just sprint. They just sprint for the 3-foot door and like bellies. Like they're stealing third. And it's just a slip and slide under the door.
It's a slide. It's an inflatable slide.
Good gracious. And no woman can know about it. Like no wife can know about it. Just be like the most humiliating. But then because
but when you go down the slide, there's a facial recognition thing that happens, and when you get to the bottom, they blow up a picture of your father, and they bring your card to you.
Your granddad who fought in World War II. And you know the other part is that if they cared anything for us, that exit would actually be a facade that would look like a tattoo parlor or like the most manly thing. So when you're walking out, it looks like you just came out of like an MMA training, or like that's the part of the store that's like. It has like over 21 dangerous tools, and you're walking out of it. Yeah. So and everybody in there knows what just happened. But like anybody passing by is like, wow,
that guy
Barnes,
21 and over tools.
21 and over tools. Could that be the name of our first hardware store? Do not look that .com up. Oh golly Moses! If that's all we got, I'm happy with that right there.
That's good.
That took me to giggle down. Oh man, population me. Okay.
See, I feel like. Could you, because that's a great bit. Can you sell that to, like, write that up and sell it to
I've that all
SNL or something?
That's very real in my brain, how to do that bit.
Yeah.
That was, holy guacamole, that made me laugh. Just a little exit, like, that is the bit. Like, guys just kind of slink back and like, what? He might have. We all know what happened. Let's carry on. What else did you need? Where'd my friend go? We all know where he went. I'm trying to think of the things that would be on the other side of that door too, like little wet masks so you can just barely pat your face down a little bit, or makeup to look like you got in a fight.
Oh, there we go.
You know what I mean? Oh, my stomach hurts. Okay, this was a true thing. So Annie and I went to, in the height of COVID, we went to this little like weekend getaway place, and our waiter at this place was trying not to cough under his mask, and. He wants to, but he's trying so hard not to. The weird sound he was making while he was trying not to cough, because this was like kind of a nice. It was like Annie and I had saved up for the guys.
Yeah.
And he literally came over. He's like, "Mr. Barnes," and I mean this is doing math. So it's like, "Mr. Barnes, just wanted to know, you guys, for breakfast.
This is at the worst time in history
to cough.
And not only the worst time in history, but this setup. He's like, why did I pick this restaurant?
Yes.
I will get fired.
Oh.
My career is on the line.
And so he was doing physical things. Like he would turn and kind of look away and point. He kind of made...
He's trying to be the pioneer that finds another way to cough.
Another way to cough.
How can we get the human body to expel whatever needs to get expelled without coughing?
And when he walked off, I had like a little bit of a fit. Like Andy was like, "You okay?" And I couldn't stop laughing because I was like, that poor guy, he's screwed.
Yeah.
He's toast.
That poor guy. You're right. He is the worst. I mean, on every angle that you look at it, he's losing. Like, for one, in the last 120 102 years, he would have been fine. But it's
that
it's
moment.
COVID.
Oh, I mean, 6 months before that, he could have just turned a cough into his arm. We wouldn't even. He would have been serving. And like, this is how I work. I mean, other friends would be like, "No, you need to wash your hands." I'd be like, "Yeah, but it's fine. Just put the toast in."
You did you covered your mouth. Good for you.
But he was the noise in half of it, which is what if I was going to work on this bit would be having it. It was like it was. And it was muffled, so it's like, yeah, and you guys, would you, Mr. Barnes, you want to, and I remember, because I didn't know I kind of looked up at him, and I was like, oh, bro, you're having a call.
So what did you guys do? Did you say like, hey, Andrew, just here's the keys to my car.
Have a cough fit. Just get it all out, bro.
We'll get our food. Just go.
I'll serve myself. Johnny.
Dave.
I really enjoyed that one. John, I don't want to come at you out of nowhere, but guess what time of year it is?
Oh.
Yep.
Happy birthday. Jeez. I don't have any gift or anything.
Your friendship is a gift that keeps giving.
Okay, well, there you go. I do have a gift.
You're not real far off, but guess what it really is? Grilling season.
Oh, it's grilling season. Yep. You know, I do love a finely grilled steak.
Yep.
Or burger.
Yeah.
Or really just about anything.
I was going to say, you just kind of go blanket there. ButcherBox is the subscription service that delivers high-quality meat and seafood right to your doorstep, folks. Choose from a carefully curated selection of 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, wild-caught seafood, and more. Yep.
And right now, new subscribers receive a free grilling bundle in their first order.
Like free or
no? Like free.
Ooh. You know, I just got my ButcherBox in the mail the other day, and the family loved the grilled chicken.
That's so
you open
good.
it, and all of a sudden you have a million choices, John. Which meat do I want to cook today, tomorrow, even this month?
You know, my favorite thing about ButcherBox is how easy it is.
Oh yeah,
it's just like they just give it. They
right
give
there.
it to you.
Yeah.
They're like, here, you can't mess this up.
Yeah.
Have some amazing meat.
I've tried. I have tried to mess it up, and I can't do it.
You can't do it.
I can't do it. It's packed fresh and shipped frozen for convenience, so you can save time on your next grocery store trip, okay? Customize your own box. Go with one of theirs. Guys, it's a crazy fun world that you get to enjoy here. Either way, you get exactly what you want.
Get summer sizzling started with this special ButcherBox deal for our listeners. Free bacon for the life of your membership, plus $10 off.
Wowie, John, if you want to see me come running in any direction, yell free bacon, and I'm going to just sprint. I cannot help it. Sign up today at butcherbox.com/Dadville and use code Dadville to get 1 pack of free bacon in every box for the life of your membership, plus $10 off your first order.
That's butcherbox.com/Dadville and use the code Dadville to claim this amazing deal.
Okay. How about how aggressively women talk to each other when they're on a walk together? This is almost 100% of the time, because we live right here on Belmont in Nashville, and it's a very high pedestrian populated walking.
Lots of walkers.
It's a lot of walkers. I don't know that I ever pass two women walking that aren't a lot of arm motions, and one is nodding like aggressively.
Yeah.
One is like very... It's a lot of arms, and the other's like, and they're walking so fast.
Right.
And I'm like, what? Is everything okay? Or is this like how...
Everything's okay in that moment.
Yeah.
Here, let me tell you why. Because, the speed walking thing, not that guys can't do it. We just don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why that is stereotypically of women doing that. I don't know why.
Why can't they just commit to running?
And I just want to say now,
they're walking faster. I promise.
They're walking faster than I would go out and run. Yeah, for sure. There's a woman here in the neighborhood, Mary, who we're both thinking of. She flies.
Yes.
And if
I would
try
have to
walk,
run to catch up to her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if I'm running and I want to get a better workout, I just walk and try to stay at the same speed. So we're not taking anything away. It is not a step down.
Women live longer because they speed walk.
Yes, exactly.
That's not official.
But this is like this is women doing what women do well.
Yep.
And what women want.
Yeah.
And it is affirmation.
Yeah.
It's like
is
when
that what's
Amy
happening?
tells me, like,
hey,
I just wanted you to say,
I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you. That
I don't need
that
your
would
advice.
be hard.
Yeah.
That would be frustrating.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what if you looked at it this way?
Here's another way to do it.
Then she's speed walking away from me.
She is.
But also, you're speed walking, so you're just like, everything is heightened because you're miserable.
So true story for me, and I thought about doing a bit about this too. So years ago. So I had a New Year's both. A resolution probably 5 years ago to start running a couple times a week, and I've done that. It's been great. It's changed my life. I love running. I don't love running.
You started that 5 years ago?
Yeah, it was a New Year's resolution. We've talked about my weird New Year's resolution. And how
in my mind, you have run.
No. Well, it may be longer.
You've been running from things. As long as I've known you.
And you can see, while I'm not fit that way or physically, the running is. I'm now realizing running is not benefiting me in any way, both emotionally and physically. So, I remember I was like, I'm going to start running a couple times almost solely because I used to walk. Like I would sort of I wouldn't power walk. I wouldn't get the hips, but I'd just go walk for like 45 minutes an hour.
Yeah.
And this happened to me almost 100% of the time. Someone would see me doing that. They would see me. They'd see me walk a whole block. Text me, they're like, dude, man, saw you out for a run. Saw another buddy. Man, you out running? No. And I realized something about men is they can't, like, people just assumed I was either beginning or ending a run.
Yeah.
Because there was no way I was just out
walking. You would just be walking.
It was 100% of the time, John. If I got a text, dude, it was like a guy couldn't type the words walk. Bro, saw you out for a run. Good. Hey, man, where were you running? Like, how long had you been running? Saw you on your cool down. It was like we couldn't. I was fascinated by this dilemma. Like, why? And then I realized I think I do the same thing. Because not long after I saw a guy walking, and I was like, bro, how was your run? And I was like, why is it that we can't just let a walk? Why can't we do? Could you imagine seeing two dudes doing what I see women doing? Like speed walking and just really, you would think something's wrong.
Right.
You'd be like, are they going
like
to?
Someone stole their car.
Yes. Are they going to put out a fire?
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm fascinated by this though. But I noticed like guys couldn't. A friend of mine, John Green, one of the most talented singer-songwriters I know. He was eating by himself from England. He had just gotten in a flight from London, and he saw me on one of these walks, and he literally was like, "Bro, how was the run?" I was like, "It was good." And I was about to say, "No, it was awesome, man. Got 10 miles, 20 miles."
Dude, that is really fascinating.
Isn't it?
That guys, because I probably would do the same thing. Like, I would assume. Especially if you're in like athletic gear,
yeah, which I was.
And I saw you walking down Belmont, I'd be like, "Oh, he went on a run. He's on his cool down."
That's a 45-minute ramp up to that mile run he's about to do. He's about to get in a really serious half mile. Okay,
it's just because it's like, as guys, we're like, no, it's got to be running.
Yeah,
got to be. Yeah, you got to be running. Walking's not a workout.
No, bro.
Even though we all know if you have tried to keep up with Mary here in the neighborhood by walking, that's a harder workout than jogging.
Oh, if anybody listening to this that's done this, you're shaking your head like, yeah, that's why we do it. Like walking quickly engages 100 more things than I feel like running does.
Yeah, and one of those things, I guess, is shame for guys.
There it is, folks. That's why it's Johnny McLaughlin. Okay, this was more fascinating to me, Sam. This is a true story. My little 5-year-old Sam, this is probably, this would have been a couple years ago. So this is when he was 3 or 4. Sam asked if he was going to die after dying Easter eggs. This is a true story. Because his fingers were blue. His little brain thought that he was dying because he dyed eggs, and he was totally fine with it. I remember being so fascinated. That's how much he loves Easter. He came up and he was like, "Hey, Dad, am I going to die from a dye?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Oh, good. Okay." And I was like, "Wait, you thought there's a chance that dying these Easter eggs may end me." And man, I got to roll the dice because this is amazing.
Here's where my mind goes with that, because Sammy and I are in lockstep as the youngest of 3.
Yes,
both of us.
Yes,
that's how the youngest of 3 works. You're just like, am I gonna die? I don't know. I'm going with the flow here.
There's just always a low-level hum of like, death could be imminent.
I don't know. I'm not driving this train.
Exactly right.
I'm along for the ride of life. Do we stop here?
Oh my god!
I don't know. You know,
It's a total abandonment to not knowing. It's just I don't know.
Dang. Well, I guess we run the clock out on this.
They're doing it. Are we all dying? I'm in either way, guys. Listen, I'm committed. Is this it for all of us? I remember being so moved. It was kind of really this beautiful moment, genuinely, because he walked up and was 1,000% serious.
Yeah.
Like, because, am I going to die from this death?
Dude.
Jeez, Sam.
Are my affairs in order?
Do you feel like there's any just last minute advice before I cross over? Maybe I have some words for you, Dad.
I assume you have some apologies you'd
just
like to make.
Dad.
I mean, we don't have a ton of time. Look
just
at my hands.
Just commit to running, Dad. Just we're all tired of it. Okay, this is, again, I maybe this could turn a bit. I think this is more just fascinating.
Yep.
Nobody knows what their dad does for a living. Right? I have noticed this, why is that? I've laughed about this at shows every now and then. I'll be like, I want everybody in the room to raise their hand. You can tell me clearly what your dad does for a living. I guarantee you, it may be more. It may be 60%, but there will be 40% of that room. It's like I still don't really know. As grown people,
right?
Like grown adults.
Well, what's interesting about that is that the number should be 100% if we're really looking at this.
Huh?
You know what I mean? It's like 100% knows what their dad
does.
Okay.
I was like, wow, that's a hot take.
Because
I'm into this.
Like run some other parallel with that. Like you're talking about a human being that you've known literally your entire life.
Yeah.
You live with them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're talking about the thing that they do more than anything else. Like they go to do this thing every day, Monday through Friday, assuming.
Yeah.
You know. And you don't know what it is?
Oh, I literally talked to a girl, I think they go to church with us, and she's in our young adults ministry. I said, hey, what's your dad doing? She's like, it's something with logistics at and she knew the company. She's like, whatever, General Motors.
No,
and I was like,
no, her dad's a CIA spy.
So I said, do we stop listening? Are they spies? Like, why is it? I literally put that in this thing. So I was like, what? Because here's the thing that sort of was amusing to me is that there's this weird handshake agreement between the parent and you that one, you just stop even trying to figure it out. And two, they're okay with you never knowing. They're like,
right.
Yeah, I don't like at some point, there's just like the parents like, that, I don't know.
Well, is this kind of like playing by the same rules as like the person that you don't know their name and you're past the point where you can ask them what their name is?
Yeah, you're 25. Dad, just real quick. So a couple questions for you, Dad. One, when are we gonna? Are you gonna put the pool, retire? When do we open the pool for the summer? And what do you do? And then also, where did you leave the car keys? Just answer those real quick.
What was that third one?
Just
like maybe the
how have you provided for our family?
Yeah.
For the last, and I would argue that moms at work, this isn't a problem. I almost would guarantee you that there's something male about this with a dad, because I guarantee you most working moms, like kids, like, oh, my mom, and she works at the Art Institute where she curates the French paintings from 1725 to 1819. But
do you think that's because moms would come home and like share more?
I think there's, again, I just can't help but wonder if there's just like a weird agreement. People are listening to this. I hope people are losing it in their cars for the people that are literally 33, like, I don't know what my dad, again, there'll be a genre. Oh, he works for the IRS. But like, what does he do? It's something with taxes or no. Is it Peru? There's some, I don't know. I know that and then they'll be like, and then they'll say one thing that'll be like, I know he travels a lot, or I know he's on his phone, or it's something to do with numbers, or he knows a lot of Spanish. And you're like, why? So what made you stop following that? Why'd you just cut it off at like, is it because your dad doesn't care? This happens a lot.
It's interesting.
Because I will randomly.
I would love to know some actual numbers on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you survey 1,000 people randomly, how many people would know? Let's say you get 1,000 people who have both of their parents work.
Yeah.
And what are the stats on I know what my dad does or not? I know what my mom does or not?
Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
It would, I would love to know that. I do. And I think part of, this is, watch, I'm going to go sad for a second. I wonder if that's because the dad just doesn't love their job. Gosh, is that dark to say?
Well, I mean, again.
And not all the time, obviously,
right.
Not even the majority, but like maybe
I
some
wonder
if
there's something about, and this is so like, I'm going real general and stereotypical and all that. Like, dad gets home from work and he's just a little stressed.
Yeah.
And so you're less likely to ask about work because he's like, I don't want to think about work.
Yeah.
You know.
I just think it's so amusing that so much of the population is totally fine being adults not knowing this.
Yeah.
They have thought that is just not, I can live my life and never, what's your dad do? Yeah, I don't really know. Cool. Let's go grab some drinks. Like there's no like, well, should you? No, everybody's like, okay, yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
That's not really important.
Right.
Like, who cares? Wouldn't it be amazing, though, if that happened and then it ended up he did, like, the coolest job ever?
But I do have to say, you and I both know what our dads did.
Yeah.
Our dads are both retired now, but.
Yeah.
And you definitely know what your dad did. I know pretty much.
See, that's
But I feel like I know. I know.
You know.
I would fall into the category of I know what my dad did for a living.
Yeah.
He was a nuclear medical engineer.
That's good.
And then the next question is, what is that?
And then, yeah.
And then we start to, I'm looking for the escape room. A technician.
This is where I know that that's where this comment happens.
No, but I do think that I know more. I know kind of a general, like, what his day and day was like. I don't know how to, like, I don't know the terms of, like, he works on giant cameras in hospitals.
Yeah.
That's as much as I need to know.
But that's the comment. I know that he works on big cameras and you've resigned yourself that that's as far as you need to get with that.
Right. Yeah.
So it's sort of in play. Okay. This is a story. Listen, I want to start this by saying I'm not proud of this.
Okay.
This is a really vulnerable part of me. I don't do this.
So is that implying that you were proud of everything we've talked about?
I'm so proud so far.
Okay.
This is a true story. And I don't do this as a practice at all. It may be the third or fourth time I've done this in my life, but I did it. I had the kids. We're going to school one morning, and it's, so all three are in the back seat, and we're not even a mile this way down the street. And we're over by David Lipscomb College here in Nashville. And this guy on a bike, which we've talked pet peeves before, you and I.
You hate guys on bikes.
Oh, my gosh. Just bikes.
Right.
Pedaling.
Yeah.
Effort. Let's just keep tracing backwards. Yeah. Doing anything. Going places.
Right. Travel.
So we're riding, and this guy is just in the middle of the road on a bike, like a pro bike, like he's getting his workout. Yeah. Not a 6-year-old on a like a little 3-speed. So, and it's like rush hour morning. I mean, the streets are packed. Everybody's getting their kids to school or going to work, whatever. And he is just in the middle of the frickin' road.
Uh-huh.
And, like, he will not go over the sidewalk. He won't even get over to the right. And it's like I'm the one behind him. And finally, I'm like, bro, I got to get around you, man. Like, I got places to go, and I take a pretty wide berth. I get around him, and he starts screaming at me. He is so mad. Other people do. And I flipped him off. True story. I did. And so, but what happens is, I'm already getting agitated because he won't move. Uh-huh. And I'm like, come on, bro, just go. Come on. The kids are, and so I just kind of go, well, you know it. And I just, before I know it, whoomp, there's a finger. Now, the thing is, I don't flip outside the car.
Yeah.
I flip
in the car.
Just like right in front of the kids. So very obviously, right hand goes up, middle finger extended. All three kids are staring at my. And what do I do? It's a true story. I act like I'm pointing to the roof, and I start messing with the roof of the car because I felt so bad. So right arm comes up, middle finger, touch the roof, push some things around, act like nothing happens, keep driving. Yeah. No kids ask questions. And
really?
That was an interesting moment for me in my life.
Yeah.
They didn't bring it up. Nobody said anything about it.
Yeah.
I felt like I played it off quickly.
Yeah.
The guy saw it.
Right.
And that biker saw it. He definitely saw it. Man, when John and I started the Dadville podcast, we had no idea what we were doing.
I mean, zero idea. That was till we found Anchor.
Exactly. Anchor is a free service that will help you build and distribute your podcast. It's so easy that it allows you to record and edit your podcast right on your phone or your computer.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so that you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more.
That's right. And they'll help you make more money on your podcast with no minimum listenership.
So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. You know, it's interesting because I have so many thoughts. First off, that just goes to show you that there are different brains in your head.
Oh my gosh.
You got a reptilian brain.
Oh, that lizard brain
there.
was happening.
Yeah. With the guy on the bike, though, here's my thoughts on the guy on the bike. Now, I'm not a cyclist, but I will say I was.
You did? You were for a while?
I was really into cycling.
Yeah.
Like I used to go to cycling camp.
Yeah.
I went, like when we lived in California, I rode every single morning. I would ride.
Yeah.
So I love cycling. This guy, I'm guessing, thinks, God bless him, I think he thinks he's at another level than he actually is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but even if you're, like a pro cyclist,
Yeah.
you're not going. Like there's one time when we lived out in California where I got together with an actual group of riders. Like I met this guy randomly at a thing, and he was like, "Oh, where do you live? Oh, we ride. Like we meet here. Come ride with us." And again, I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. I ride every day. I almost died on this ride with these guys. Like they are next level.
Yeah, they're going.
But even then, like we're riding on the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway.
Yep.
We're going 22 to 25 miles an hour.
Yep.
And I am dying. So even if you are at that level, if you're in a car going 22 miles an hour, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the guy needs to be over to the side. I don't know what he was even upset about.
I'll tell you what I immediately got convicted for a million reasons. One, because I kept scanning my kids in the rear view like, oh, God, or did he start smoking? Is someone giving a self-tattoo? Is there? Oh gosh, is one of them renounced Jesus?
I guess we're that kind of family now.
Here we go. This is what we do, guys. Self-tattoo and smoke at 6 and 7. Which nothing's wrong with those things necessarily. Sure. I'm just saying, a little young. That's all I'm saying. It's a little young to start. And I relate so much to when I'm running. Most of the time, unless I'm in a really beautiful locale, I'm just trying to get done with my run. I mean, I'm not. On really good days and it's beautiful, I'm like, God, this is beautiful. The wind feels great. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, I'm just kind of want to get through this. Let's get through it, which is sad. I wish I was a little more present, but I just want to get done with it. Yeah. So I'm already I'm not in a bad mood at all, but I'm not like loving everything that's happening. You're in
physical pain.
Yes. So when cars come out, I've slapped hoods.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, you got to wake the heck up. Like
right.
I'm a human and you're in a big steel machine.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of times people are wonderful. That's happened to me, and I'm extremely like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. That's my fault. Like, I get it. But while I'm exercising, I have a real sense of, like, I am the priority on earth right now. Like, people need to make a way for me.
Yes.
I'm running, and I'm a human, and I'm a higher priority than these automobiles are.
Uh-huh.
And so immediately after I did it, I was like, surely that's a little bit of what this guy's going through too. And I do know, and I mean, gosh, any bikers, I'm not trying to pick a beef at all with you, but biker, like you'll see a lot of like make way for bikers on the back of cars. And I'm down for that. Like, but the middle of the road, like the middle of the road.
And that's my thing. I'm like, if you're going to be in the middle of the lane, you better be booking it. I mean, you got to be going all out.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to be in the middle of the lane, then you are assuming like you're in car world now.
Yeah.
Which sometimes in like if you're going like downhill a little bit, I mean, those cyclists can get going. So if you're going like 40 miles an hour, then
just
great.
What that would do to your body if something went wrong, yeesh.
Yeah, right.
Okay. How about this one?
I'm proud of you for admitting that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why do people? This happened 2 days ago. So I wrote this probably a year ago, but this happened 2 days ago. Why do people practice their golf swing in the middle of conversations? Could you imagine if people did that with other sports in the middle of conversations or practice their job in the middle of conversations, like fake typing on a computer or playing the guitar? So you're sitting there talking to somebody and it's so accepted. Like, yeah, man, we're great. Like golf swing. Yeah, man, what have y'all been doing? Like, not much, man, golf swing. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? Right? Like, imagine I'm like, yeah, and I'm just kind of going, just strumming. Yeah, that's all. Like, it's talking to someone. Dude, did y'all end up going to 38?
I'm like doing scales.
I mean, what? Why has society been like? But it's only golf swings.
Yeah.
And you'll find guys will start. It's like yawning. People, you see one guy do it, and the other guy in the conversation, like, yeah, like, just. I'm like, what in that person's brain was? I love that. I'm going to practice a golf swing. Tell me more about your daughter. What is that? Yeah, golf swing. Like,
it makes me think. I always, whenever I see things like that in society, I always think of like aliens come and they land in our front yard, and I'm trying to explain the world to them. Like,
yeah.
Okay, before we go out.
Yeah.
Here's a couple things, and that would be one where you'd be like, what else? Oh. If you're gonna like practice or like emulate any sports things, you can only do golf. You gotta like kind of casually. You can't full on do it, but it's acceptable to do golf swings, and that's it.
And then as you're doing it, really hone in on one part of the swing. That's my favorite.
Right, like you're really working on. something.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So it's not just that somebody's going swing. Like, oh, that's great. Like they'll swing, break halfway, straighten their arm, follow through. That's great. Did y'all end up booking the great and straighten? Hey, did he end up getting glasses? Backswing.
Because it says so many things. Here's what it says. It says, I can multitask.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not so in on this conversation because I don't need to be.
Yeah.
Also, I golf. Yeah. Also, I've taken a lesson or two, so we got some disposable income here.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna be golfing sometime soon. It says a lot.
It says a lot. It also says if I had a TV, I'd turn it on and watch it right now.
Right.
Instead of.
It says this whole thing is like plan B.
Wildly uninterested in what's happening right now.
I have to do this just to stay moderately engaged.
I have to fake golf swing. I'm either going to run away from this. Literally,
I got to bring some other element in here.
Yes, gosh, but then, like you said, could you imagine you're just over there doing skate, like in front of somebody, like
or like like if you're like a landscaper, or you gotta like you're practicing like my mom practicing like repotting a plant. What would that even look like?
Digging, just with a shovel. Driving. Okay, 2 hands. Yeah, that's awesome. Just a little left hand.
Like, or just weightlifting. Like jumping rope.
Jumping rope, but not leaving, just doing your arms. Okay, maybe this is the last one. Okay, here we go. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is better than anything you'll pay $1,000 a plate for. What if we lived in a world where you are? This is where this British bulldog. Someone brings in, you would think, oh yeah. What if you lived in a world where that was $1,000? I could see how if somebody brought me in a plate or a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and it was like I gave them $1,000 and I ate it, I'd be like, this is absolutely worth $1,000.
Now I would take for us to go forward in this conversation.
Yeah.
I need to swap out Cinnamon Toast Crunch with Golden Grahams. And then we're good.
But just cereal in general, how is it that we've gotten so accustomed to it?
Right.
That we like I can go somewhere and pay $50 for a plate of something on a nice night out or whatever thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was pretty good. Sitting in my closet at home, in my pantry. I don't know. Also, my closet, let's be honest, I've got a box in my closet upstairs. I've got one hidden right behind my shirts for bad nights. Is something that tastes better than pretty much anything on earth.
Yeah.
And it's $4.
Yeah.
What is it in the human, like I will have, I don't eat it much, but I'll think, I just don't know what tastes better. Like mint chocolate chip ice cream from Baskin-Robbins, but what tastes better than, and yet I will go fork up for like some salad and it's good.
Right.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was a great steak, right? Oh, salmon, man, that was beautiful. Nothing is going to taste better than Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm thinking like, what if there was like we started doing this thing as a society.
Yeah.
Where I feel like I'm saying society a lot.
You are.
Where let's say it's like a census.
Yeah.
Where like every 10 years we redo whatever.
Okay.
And we have like a panel of people, and they do it.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, next year is food. They're doing food next year.
Okay.
Where they just like zero everything out, and then they bring a finding.
This is what I mean.
And they're like, oh yeah, Golden Grams is $1,000 now. Because they're like, why are
General Mills is so mad at themselves, right? They're like, guys, who put the price of this stuff at 50 cents the first time we sold it? Do you realize how good this is? So it's like, I don't know.
No, but here's the thing, though. Because I think in our neighborhood, they're putting in what I saw for the first time on Abbott Kinney in
yes,
in
the
Venice,
cereal,
the cereal place.
Scoop.
I don't know what it's called.
Something
but it's like,
yeah. What's a scoop?
It's like we've gotten to the point where we're like,
boot scoop boogie.
Everything's working. We're on the up and up. Let's do cereal now. That building's cereal now. We're just doing cereal. I'm sure. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm glad that it's going in.
Yep.
So let's be clear. I'm not knocking it.
No.
But I just remember when I saw it at Abbott Kinney in Venice, I was like, of course. That's such a Venice, California thing. Like, we serve cereal.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, and I didn't go in there, I'm sure it's overpriced.
Yeah.
It's got to be overpriced.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to pay. Now we're just two dads talking about
it's good.
What's the rent like
brand.
at Abbott Kinney?
Yeah.
You're selling cereal. that cereal's got to be $15 a bowl or whatever.
For sure.
But you look at it that way, take it out of the context of this conversation, and you're like, that's ridiculous. Golden Grams are $15.
But you walk around 12 South, where we live here in Nashville. If you had a Wagyu steak cooked somehow to everyone's liking on a fork, a bite.
Yep.
Or a bowl, or like a big scoop with milk in it. Whatever. Hey, we'll go almond. We'll go soy.
You pick your milk. You pick the number of flakes or squares. Some people like
I am telling you, I will put my life on the fact that 90% of those people are like, yeah, I mean, it's what tastes better? Oh, Golden Grams.
Right.
How have we as a society just been like, but we don't eat it much? No, people.
And when you eat it, it's this price. The Wagyu, $500 a steak. Because it's from Japan.
I mean, I don't understand this. Like, just on the level of what literally just tastes the best when I eat it.
Yeah.
There is all this stuff in my house that is infinitely better. I like how it tastes better than 90% of the things that I go out and eat at a restaurant. That are great and they're good for me. They do not compete with how good that tastes.
Right. Yeah. Hey. Take some cereal in your car next time you go out to eat.
And just
in case.
With the problem.
And then when you have to cough, go out there and cough, eat some cereal.
And then flip off the mic or drive by.
That